Good morning and welcome to Chess League. In this video we will continue looking at some of the positions of round number 6. The first game is Aaron versus Benjamin. Let's have a look at this position and again try to evaluate it. So it's very clear that white is a pawn up here on the queen side. It's also clear that it is very hard for black to improve the position of their pieces. For example, this knight on f6 would have been a good square for it, e4, but that square is covered by the bishop on d3 and by the knight on c3. So the best thing for black here is probably to stand still, maybe to play rook c7, then rook c8, hoping for a draw. And white will gradually increase the advantage, and if everything goes okay, they should win this game. So white's to move here. Probably the most logical move here would have been to play rook c1, then maybe rook b1, then a3 and b4, pushing the pawns on the queen side where white actually has advantage. Instead, white decided to play bishop to b5, maybe hoping for a trade with the knight on d7. Black played queen to b7, and white did what they wanted to do. Instead of queen b7, black had a small tactical opportunity, which would not actually win anything materially, but I think it would have slightly improved the position of black's pieces. So black could have played rook takes c3, and now you see bishop is on b5, is not protected. In this position, white has three options. They can play b takes c3 or queen takes c3, or they can play bishop takes d7. So if b takes c3, then simply queen takes b5. If queen takes c3, then again simply queen takes b5, and black would achieve even advantage after that. The best thing here for white is to play bishop takes d7. Now if knight takes d7, then simply b takes c3. So black has to move rook back, for example rook c4. Now the bishop on d7 is under attack by the knight on f6. So white has to play b3. Black has to play rook c7. Then white needs to play bishop a4. And in this position, white is still a pawn up. However, black's pieces can get a little bit more active here than they were in the game. So for example, knight to e4, queen goes to d3, and rook goes to c8. Now e4 is a very good position for black's knight. The c file is a very good position for black's rook, maybe threatening rook c2. In this case, the game is still very far from winning for white. There's plenty of fight here. So again, in that position, rook takes c3 would have been a better option for black. Okay, let's have a look at the second game. That's Emily versus Callan. Black's to move here, very typical position, very well-known position. Black can play castle, or they can play bishop to e6, suggesting trade of the bishops. Instead, black decided to play pawn to b6. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I do not like this move. The first thing is that that move is considered to be anti-positional move. By the way, can you please let me know in the comments why this move is anti-positional? It's very important so that you understand it. So please try to give me some feedback as to why this move is anti-positional. The second reason why I don't like this move b7 to b6 is that there's basically nowhere that this bishop can now safely go. So for example, in that position, if white played c3 and b4 later on in the game, black's bishop can always go to b6. But after black played b6, there's basically no secure square for this bishop on c5. And straight away, I think white needed to check this bishop by playing c3 and threatening b4, capturing the bishop on c5. It's not so easy to defend from this threat, by the way. So for example, if black plays a5, covering b4 square, and white can simply play d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, bishop has to go to b4, and then a3, capturing the bishop. Another thing how black can try to escape with this bishop is to play d5, making this diagonal available for the bishop. However, after e takes d5, knight takes d5, queen can go to a4, attacking this knight on c6, and again it's not so easy to defend it now, because after bishop d7, the knight on d5 is not protected, and white can simply take on d5. After bishop to b7, white can play bishop b5, attacking the knight again, and after knight e7, knight takes e5. So that's how white could have achieved significant advantage here, simply by playing c3 and trying to capture the bishop on c5. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to leave comments in this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.